Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I want to share with you a personal story and a journey of mine of becoming an English teacher. A lot of people often ask me sometimes that, why do you want to become an English teacher? So let me take you through my journey of becoming one. It all started when I was in high school. Now, at the time, I didn't care much about learning English because I didn't really see the importance of the language, right? Not like now where I fully understand it. I was just spending all of my time hanging out with friends, playing football, video games, the typical stuff a teenager would do. But then at the end of grade 11, my mom and I decided to study abroad, or to send me to the US. In order to do so, I needed to get at least a 5.5 in IELTS to meet the entry requirements, to enter the college. And at the time, I remember I got very motivated to achieve that score, even though it was very difficult, especially for somebody who didn't really know much about the English language. So during the preparation process for the exam, I, registered for a course at an English center, and fortunately I got a chance to meet an amazing teacher. She was my source of inspiration at the time. I was so surprised at the first time that I met her, and I've never seen anyone who were able to speak English at her level. It was pretty much native like. And I said to myself, and this is a true story, in the future, I will be able to speak like that one day, if not better. And, look at me now. I achieved that goal, I guess. And why am I so inspired to be an English teacher? I guess all of us, when we are, at high school student, if anyone would ask it, right? Like, would you like to become an English teacher, or a teacher of any subject for that matter? We would just say, are you crazy? Because take a look at the teachers around us, right? At least my teachers at the time, they weren't very passionate. And they didn't really care much about our personal progress. All they cared about is whether we're gonna have a good score on our exam. That's it, right? And we don't usually develop a sort of emotional or personal connection with any of them, at least in my case. So as I grew up and I went to college, but the thing is, I studied something that was completely unrelated to English teaching. It was media and communication, which is not relevant at all. But then I got the chance to help out some of the friends to improve their English. And I remember that moment when this sense of satisfaction that you get from helping someone understand very simple concepts of English. And that's just a special feeling. And I said to myself, okay, I want to have that feeling every day of my life. And what are some of the ways we can do that? Well, it's to become an English teacher, right? That's a given. So at the year of 2019, that was the first time I took on some full-on classes, standing in front of all these 20 students in a class. And I remember being so nervous because public speaking was never really my forte, and I needed to work on myself to improve that skill a lot. But after a few months, you start to get used to it. It's not really a big deal anymore. And just imagine, after a few years, whenever I look back and I see being a teacher is such an important job, because look at the impact you can have on the entire generation of students, right? Like, at least in my case, when I'm able to help students to achieve, let's say, a 6 or a 7 in IELTS, just imagine the number of future career opportunities that they can have, even though it's just a piece of paper. But it's not, right? It's not really just a piece of paper. It's a door to a prestigious university. It's, you know, a number of career opportunities you can get. And it's not just that. It's also the love for the cultures of different countries, because when you learn English, you also need to watch videos of people in America or people from the UK that speak English, right? And so you start learning a lot of different things that are very useful for you as a person, not just in terms of English, but also the understanding of the world around you, huh? Ever since 2019, so I guess it must have been 6 years now of being a teacher, I would say even though there are some challenges along the way, I would say I love this job. I don't think I'm able to do anything else that can give me the level of satisfaction similar to this one. Yeah, so anyway, just something I want to share with you guys today.